I'm here at Design Indaba 2015, having come for the first time last year, Design Indaba 2014. And since the last show, we've rebranded in part because of Design Indaba and the wonderful collection of designers that you feature here. We're now called InspiredLuxe.com, and that name came about because the stories and the people behind the beautiful work that you have here, the people I've shared it with have found it so inspiring and so uplifting.
There are just so many people that don't have the means or the resources to upskill themselves at home. So I generally look for people from the Cape Flats or from townships, people that are at home, that are looking for jobs. I get them in, they have absolutely no skills, but I train them because everybody is trainable.
FACT actually stands for Faces Around Cape Town. Initially I started off photographing the different characters that are around and about our city, and I started off doing township photographs because my idea was to pay back in some way, and so with part of my proceeds I buy books for the kids from the township that close to where I live.
We don't think of ourselves as being independent. We are South African. We want to uplift people as we uplift ourselves. That's the aim. The Renaissance has to include everybody. Everyone needs a chance. And wherever we can use people, we do it.
We are now going to, in the Inspired Luxe, our showcase is going to be on celebrating Africa as our sort of initial focus, because this is sort of the birthplace of humanity. That, you know, I just find the creativity to be so broad-based and so diverse. You know, the artisans are, you know, so diverse. I mean, you really do feel like it's sort of a window on the world, because even while people live here, you know, they've been influenced by so many cultures.
My company started about 6 years ago, and with regards to the product that I produce, it's the Basotho blanket capes and jackets, and we've been doing that for the past 3 years now. So basically the inspiration for that came from the Basotho blankets themselves, and moving from Lesotho, moving into the city, I wanted to be able to carry my culture on in the city as well. So it just basically became a way of how do I design something that's fashionable, that's modern, but still loudly and proudly says Lesotho.
We're a small team. We have about 15 artisans who are trained in our workshop in all the different techniques, from jewellery making, metalsmith, but the main thing we do is the waste magazine paper, which we get from the magazine distributors. So it's 100% waste, it's going nowhere, it's going to the landfill, so we recycle it.
For the last few years we focused mostly on the jewellery range and this button range, which we have made by unemployed women in Soweto. So this is our social conscience sort of range.
And for me personally, I've been brought to tears a couple of times as someone who was here last year. There are people like Hillcrest that I had done business with last year, and they, you know, had an opportunity to thank me for having the difference that I made and the impact I had on their business.
Moya has been running for nearly 13 years now, and it started as a very small income generation project working with about 20 women and men. It now supports over 350 crafters with a sustainable income.
Lulu K is another designer that's on InspiredLuxe.com, and hearing the difference that she's made in the women's lives that she works with.
Our brand basically is about empowering women and creating a range of high-end accessories utilizing locally manufactured materials.
I'm a knitter for Lulu K and a trainer as well. I train people to knit the bags for Lulu K.
One of the women who's sitting there knitting right now and crocheting, Maggie, was saying that she used to be a part-time, you know, stay-at-home mom, but because of the work that, you know, she's been doing with Lulu K with her beautiful hand-crocheted bags, she's now full-time employed. She's able to support her family. So those are the kinds of stories that inspire me. Creativity for me is the ability to express oneself, and not only to express oneself, because if you don't have the opportunity, and sorry, this isn't one word, but you know, creativity, if it's not, you don't have the ability to share it, can be a very frustrating experience. And so creativity for me is having not only a unique voice, but having a platform with which to share that voice and that point of view.